good evening, and welcome to While You Drift, where we gently explore the quiet wonders of our world while you drift slowly and effortlessly away. Tonight, we're going to submerge ourselves in a world of silent beauty and gentle magic, a world that exists just beneath the shimmering surface of the waves in the secret gardens of the ocean. We are going on a journey to meet one of the sea's most enchanting and mysterious inhabitants, the seahorse. I've always found them to be one of nature's most gentle and curious creations. There's something so calming just thinking about them, and I hope you'll feel that too as we explore their world together. It's a still night here, and the air is calm. Looking out into the darkness, it's easy to imagine another kind of stillness, the deep, quiet peace of the ocean floor, where time seems to move differently, carried along by gentle, invisible currents. It's in that peaceful underwater world that our story unfolds. A story of a creature so unique, so seemingly woven from dreams, that for centuries, people believed they were a myth. So find a comfortable position, let your body feel heavy, safe and supported, and let's prepare to drift away. Let's begin with some gentle relaxation. I invite you to close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in. When you're ready, at your own pace, breathe out softly, feeling the tension of the day begin to melt away as all of your muscles relax. Imagine for a moment the feeling of being weightless, suspended in warm, calm, turquoise water. The gentle pressure of the water supports you completely. You feel safe. You feel held. With each breath, you drift a little deeper into this feeling of peace. Imagine the slow, rhythmic swaying of seagrass all around you, dancing to a silent underwater melody. There is no hurry here. There is only a gentle, steady rhythm. Allow your mind to settle and become a sponge, ready to soak in this dreamy story while you drift slowly and steadily away. Have you ever seen a creature so strange and so beautiful that it seemed to belong more to a fairy tale than to the natural world? The seahorse is just that. A wonderfully weird creature, a living paradox, a gentle riddle that floats gracefully through the quiet corners of the sea. Our journey tonight is one of wonder. We will let the story of this delicate animal wash over us, a gentle current carrying us toward a deep and peaceful sleep. There's no need to hold on to every detail. Just allow the narrative to unfold, like a kelp forest revealing its secrets in the soft, filtered sunlight. Our story begins in the shallow, sun-dappled waters where these creatures live, as we explore their beautiful mystery. To understand the magic of the seahorse, we must first understand what they are. And the simplest answer, though it may be surprising, is the seahorse is a fish. They breathe through gills and control their buoyancy with a swim bladder, just like a cod or a tuna. But that is where the resemblance ends. In every other way, the seahorse seems to defy the very definition of a fish, as if they were designed by a dreamer. Most fish are built for speed, their bodies streamlined to cut through the water horizontally. But the seahorse does the opposite. They hold themselves in a regal, upright posture, floating vertically through the water like a tiny, elegant chess piece. Their head, so much like a horse with their long, delicate snout, gives this little being their name, and their mythical quality. Look closer, and the paradoxes deepen. A seahorse has no scales. Instead, their entire body is covered in a series of interlocking bony plates arranged in rings like a delicate suit of armor. This external skeleton is so complete that the seahorse no longer has ribs. Their body is a fortress of grace. This armor can be smooth or, on some species, adorned with sharp spines and spikes, adding to their fantastical appearance. And then there is the tail. Unlike the powerful finned tail of other fish used for propulsion, the seahorse's tail is slender, curled, and prehensile, meaning it can grip onto things, much like a monkey's. It is not a tool for swimming, but for holding on. Composed of incredibly strong, square-like rings, this tail is used to grasp a blade of seagrass or a strand of coral, anchoring the seahorse against the current, allowing them to find perfect stillness in a world of constant motion. This need for an anchor reveals another of the seahorse's gentle secrets. They are famously poor swimmers. In fact, one species, the dwarf seahorse, holds the title of the slowest moving fish in the world, with a top speed of only about 1.5 meters per hour. Their movement is not a powerful surge, but a silent, mesmerizing ballet. They are propelled forward by a tiny, almost invisible dorsal fin located on their back. This delicate, fan-like fin must flutter at an incredible speed, between 30 and 70 times per second, to move the seahorse's rigid body through the water in a slow, graceful glide. For steering, they rely on two even smaller pectoral fins located just behind their eyes, which act like tiny, delicate rudders guiding their dreamlike drift. It is this collection of beautiful contradictions that gives seahorses their magic. A fish that doesn't swim like a fish, who wears armor yet seems impossibly fragile, a silent glider in a world of swimmers. A being born not of logic but of poetry. And these poetic beings live in habitats that are just as unique. Let's now drift along and see how these masters of stillness thrive in their own magical worlds. To find a seahorse, we must look not in the vast, open ocean, but in its secret gardens. They make their homes in the most sheltered and beautiful underwater landscapes, in the sun-dappled meadows of seagrass, among the intricate, colourful architecture of coral reefs, and within the tangled, submerged roots of mangrove forests. These are calm, shallow coastal waters, safe havens where the gentle currents bring them everything they need. The only sounds are the soft, distant crackle of the reef and the muffled clicks of tiny shrimp, a gentle underwater lullaby. Here, the seahorse lives a life of profound stillness. They are deeply sedentary creatures. An adult male might spend his entire adult life within a territory of just a few square feet, a tiny kingdom he knows intimately. Using that wonderful prehensile tail, he will anchor himself to a favorite blade of seagrass or a familiar piece of coral, and may remain there for days at a time. He simply sways gently back and forth with the rhythm of the water, watching the shifting patterns of sunlight dance on the sandy floor below. I can just picture it now. It reminds me of those quiet moments we sometimes find in our own day, when we can just sit by a window and watch the world go by without any need to rush. It's a kind of peace we can all relate to. This quiet lifestyle is not one of laziness, but of masterful strategy. Because seahorses are such slow swimmers, they cannot chase their food. Instead, they're patient masters of the ambush. Their life is a lesson in the wisdom of waiting, and they must wait often because a seahorse has another peculiar trait. They have no teeth and no stomach. Food passes through their simple digestive system so quickly that they must eat almost constantly to stay alive. An adult seahorse might eat 30 to 50 times a day, while a baby, known as a fry, can consume thousands of pieces of food in a single day. So the seahorse waits perfectly still for their meal to come. Their diet consists of tiny crustaceans, plankton, and other microscopic organisms drifting in the current. When an unsuspecting morsel floats by, the seahorse acts with surprising speed. They use their long tubular snout like a pipette, creating a powerful suction that instantly vacuums the prey into their mouth. It is a swift, silent, and effortless motion. This patient hunt is only possible because of the seahorse's other great talent, the magic of invisibility. Seahorses are supreme masters of camouflage. They can change the color of their skin to perfectly match their surroundings, blending seamlessly into a backdrop of green seagrass, brown coral, or vibrant yellow sponge. Some species can even take this a step further, growing and reabsorbing spiny, skin-like filaments called cirri, which allow them to mimic the exact texture of the seaweed or coral they are hiding in. Adding to this incredible awareness is their eyesight. Like a chameleon, a seahorse's eyes can move independently of each other. This means they can look forward to their next tiny meal while simultaneously looking backward to watch for any potential predators, like a crab or a ray. They are calm, all-seeing observers of their tranquil domain. The seahorse's entire existence is a beautiful illustration of how stillness can be a source of strength. Their slowness is not a weakness, but the very thing that shapes their successful strategy for survival. By anchoring themselves and patiently observing, they find all the sustenance they need. It is a gentle reminder that sometimes the best way to navigate the world is to simply be still and let it come to you. This unique and gentle way of life is so strange. It's no wonder that for centuries, humans have seen the seahorse as something more than just a fish. Our journey now takes us from their physical world into the world of our own imagination to explore the myths and legends they have inspired. For as long as humans have gazed into the mysterious depths of the ocean, the seahorse has been a source of fascination and folklore. So strange is their form, so gentle their nature, that they seem to swim not just in the water, but in the currents of our minds. The very name we use for them is a whisper of this ancient wonder. The seahorse's scientific name comes from the ancient Greek hippocampos, a word born from two others, hippos meaning horse and campos meaning sea monster. To the Greeks and Romans, the seahorse was not just a fish, but a mythical creature, a powerful being that was half horse and half fish. They imagined the great sea god Poseidon, or Neptune as he was known to the Romans, crossing the oceans on a golden chariot, pulled not by horses of the land, but by these graceful, powerful hippocampi. For this reason, Ancient sailors saw the seahorse as a symbol of strength and power, a divine protector that would guide them safely on their voyages and carry the souls of the drowned to their final rest, ensuring a peaceful passage. This vision of a magical water horse was not unique to the Mediterranean. In the misty lochs of Scotland, legends told of the Kelpie, a dangerous shape-shifting water spirit that could appear on land as a beautiful horse, only to lure unsuspecting riders into the water. In Scandinavia, tales spoke of the Havest, a great sea serpent that was half horse and half fish, powerful enough to sink ships. In Asia, the seahorse's mythical status took on a different but equally powerful form. In Chinese culture, the seahorse was revered as a type of sea dragon, a symbol of power, good fortune, and unwavering strength. In Japan, this connection is even clearer. The name for seahorse is Tatsuno Toshigo, which translates to dragon's illegitimate child. This link to the dragon, one of the most revered creatures in Asian mythology, imbued the tiny seahorse with great significance, seeing it as a bringer of luck and healing. Across all these cultures, we see a common thread. The seahorse's gentle, slow movements through the water have made them an emblem of patience and contentment. Their prehensile tail, which they use as anchors against the strongest currents, has turned them into a symbol of strength and resilience. These stories and symbols, passed down through generations, are more than just old tales. They are a reflection of the deep sense of wonder this tiny, magical fish has always inspired in us. And while these ancient legends are captivating, the truth of their lives is, in its own way, even more magical. Let's now leave the realm of myth behind to witness the profound and gentle bonds that define the seahorse's world. In the quiet, secret gardens of the sea, one of the most romantic and devoted relationships in the entire animal kingdom unfolds. While most fish live solitary lives or gather in impersonal schools, many species of seahorse are deeply monogamous, forming powerful pair bonds that can last for an entire breeding season, and sometimes for their entire lives. This unwavering devotion is exceptionally rare, and it is expressed through a series of beautiful, silent rituals. Their bond is reaffirmed each and every day in a gentle ceremony known as the morning greeting. Just after sunrise, the female will leave her own slightly larger territory and travel to find her partner in his small, familiar home range. As they meet, their bodies often brighten, their colors shifting to greet one another. They begin a slow, synchronized dance, circling one another, sometimes linking their tails as they promenade together through the water. This quiet dance, which lasts for several minutes, is a daily promise, a silent reaffirmation of their connection before they part for the rest of the day. This daily ritual is an echo of their much longer and more elaborate courtship dance from their first meeting, a breathtaking underwater ballet that can last for many hours or even days. The dance begins just like the morning greeting, with the pair circling and moving in unison. As their dance intensifies, their camouflage begins to fade, and their bodies start to glow with brighter colors, signaling their readiness to mate. They may even make soft clicking noises, a secret language only they can understand. They rise slowly through the water column together, their movements perfectly mirrored. Finally, the female signals she is ready. She points her long snout toward the sky, her body stretching out straight and taut. In response, the male presses his chin to his chest and begins to pump water into his brood pouch, showing her that he is ready. They drift upward, pressing their bodies close together, their curved forms creating the perfect shape of a heart in the water between them. This enchanting romance is more than just a beautiful display. It is a deeply practical and vital process. The daily greeting dance helps to perfectly synchronize the couple's reproductive cycles, ensuring that the female has a new batch of eggs prepared at the exact moment her partner has given birth to the last and is ready to become pregnant again. The longer courtship ballet is a feat of technical precision, a necessary rehearsal for the difficult and delicate task of aligning their bodies perfectly for the transfer of eggs. Their romance is a profound act of mutual attunement, a silent, graceful negotiation that ensures the continuation of their lineage. It is a story of deep, unwavering, and intelligent love. The Seahorses underwater ballet culminates in an act of profound trust and the beginning of one of nature's greatest wonders, the male pregnancy. At the peak of their dance, the female uses a special tube called an ovipositor to gently deposit her precious eggs, anywhere from a few dozen to over 1,000, directly into the male's brood pouch. As the eggs enter, the male releases his sperm, fertilizing them inside the pouch. This moment gives him an absolute certainty of paternity, a confidence that is very rare in the animal world, and it marks the beginning of a true male pregnancy. The male's brood pouch is far more than a simple pocket. It is a complex, living cradle, an organ that functions in many ways like the uterus of a female mammal. Once the eggs are settled inside, the pouch tissue undergoes a remarkable transformation, developing a rich network of capillaries that acts as a kind of placenta. Through this pseudo-placenta, the father's body nurtures his developing embryos for the entire gestation period, which can last anywhere from 10 days to 6 weeks, depending on the species. He provides them with essential nutrients and the hormone prolactin, which helps them grow. He supplies them with a constant flow of oxygen and diligently removes their waste products. Perhaps most amazing of all, the father's body carefully manages the environment inside the pouch. Over the course of the pregnancy, he slowly and precisely adjusts the chemistry of the fluid surrounding his young. He gradually changes its salinity, transforming it from the salt concentration of his own internal body fluids to match the salt water of the surrounding ocean. In this way, he perfectly acclimates his babies for the world they are about to enter. When the time for birth arrives, the process is another testament to the father's active role. Unlike in mammals, where labor is driven by the involuntary contractions of smooth muscle, the seahorse father appears to control the birth consciously, using his own skeletal muscles. He begins a series of rhythmic, convulsive movements, pressing and jerking his body to open the pouch and gently expel his young. With each powerful contraction, groups of tiny, perfectly formed baby seahorses, called fry, are released into the water. They are miniature copies of their parents, fully independent from the moment they are born, and must immediately begin to fend for themselves. This incredible division of labor is a brilliant evolutionary strategy. By taking on the entire burden of pregnancy, the male frees the female to begin producing her next clutch of eggs almost immediately. This allows the devoted pair to produce many broods throughout the breeding season, maximizing the chances that at least a few of their tiny offspring will survive the many perils of the ocean. It is the ultimate expression of partnership, a shared investment in the future, all wrapped in a father's loving embrace. And this family of dreamlike creatures has even more fantastical species. In the coral reefs of the Indo-Pacific, one can find the pygmy seahorse, tiny jewel-like beings, some no bigger than a grain of rice, that live their entire lives on a single vibrant branch of Gorgonian coral, their bodies perfectly mimicking its color and texture. And off the coast of Australia drift the sea dragons, close cousins to the seahorse. The leafy sea dragon is one of the most ornate creatures on Earth, their bodies covered in delicate, leaf-like appendages that make them look exactly like pieces of drifting seaweed. They are true masters of disguise. Each one is a testament to the quiet, creative magic of the ocean. But this quiet magic is also incredibly delicate. As we come to the final part of our story, we must acknowledge that this dreamy existence is a fragile one, and see what is being done to protect these enchanting creatures. The very qualities that make the seahorse so enchanting, their delicate nature, devotion to one partner, and their deep connection to a specific home, also make them incredibly vulnerable. The health of seahorse populations is a quiet measure of the health of our coastal oceans, and their story is increasingly becoming one of fragility in the face of growing pressures. Their secret gardens are disappearing. The calm, shallow habitats where seahorses thrive, the seagrass meadows, mangrove forests, and coral reefs are among the most threatened ecosystems on Earth. Coastal development, pollution, and destructive fishing practices like bottom trawling are damaging these vital nurseries. For a creature that relies on a familiar blade of seagrass or a piece of coral to anchor themselves, the loss of these holdfasts can be devastating, leading to sharp declines in their populations. In one bay in Australia, the loss of preferred habitat was linked to a staggering 97% drop in the local seahorse population over just 6 years. Beyond the loss of their homes, seahorses face two major threats from fishing: being caught accidentally and being targeted deliberately. The most significant threat is accidental capture. The vast majority of seahorses are caught unintentionally as bycatch in fishing gear meant for other species, particularly in shrimp trawlers that scour the seafloor. While a single boat might only sweep up 1 or 2 seahorses a day, the sheer scale of global fishing means these small numbers add up. It is estimated that over 70 million seahorses are caught this way every single year. A silent, unseen toll on these gentle creatures. At the same time, millions of seahorses are intentionally caught to supply a global trade. They are targeted primarily for use in traditional medicines, but are also captured for the aquarium trade or dried and sold as souvenirs. Together, The immense pressure from both accidental bycatch and targeted fishing has led to population declines of 50% or more in many parts of the world. As a result, the International Union for Conservation of Nature now considers at least 2 seahorse species to be critically endangered and 13 to be vulnerable to extinction. But this is not a story without hope. Just as humans have been captivated by the seahorse's magic for centuries, we are now turning our ingenuity toward their protection. Around the world, a quiet but powerful movement is underway to safeguard these ocean jewels. Leading the charge are conservation groups like Project Seahorse, a dedicated organization that has spent decades studying seahorses and working with governments and communities to protect them. Their work has helped establish marine protected areas, safe havens where fishing is restricted, allowing habitats and populations to recover. In places like Sydney Harbour, conservationists have even created seahorse hotels, specially designed artificial habitats that provide shelter and breeding grounds for the endangered white seahorse to help the local population to bounce back. In the United Kingdom, another innovative solution is being used: eco-moorings. These are special buoys for boats designed with an elasticated line and a small screw that anchors into the seabed, preventing the heavy chains that can rip up the delicate seagrass beds where seahorses live. On a global scale, international agreements are working to regulate the trade in seahorses, ensuring that any trade is sustainable and does not threaten wild populations. And now, anyone can become a guardian of the seahorse. Through community science programs like iSeahorse, divers and beachcombers can log their sightings, providing invaluable data that helps scientists understand and protect these elusive creatures. This collective knowledge has already led to the creation of new protected areas, proving that small individual actions can lead to meaningful change. These efforts are a testament to a growing awareness that the fate of this magical creature is intertwined with our own. They are a promise that the seahorse's quiet, dreamy existence will not be allowed to fade away. We have traveled through a silent, sunlit world tonight, drifting alongside a creature of myth and gentle wonder. We saw how their fantastical form, a mosaic of paradoxes, is perfectly designed for a life of quiet patience. We drifted through ancient myths that saw them as divine steeds for sea gods, and then witnessed a truth even more magical, a daily ballet of silent devotion and the ultimate act of partnership in a father's loving embrace. Their story is a gentle reminder of the precious hidden beauty that we must cherish and of our profound responsibility to protect them. The threats they face are immense, but the growing efforts to save them, from creating safe havens to restoring their vanishing gardens, are a powerful source of hope. And that quiet wisdom of the seahorse is something you can carry with you now as you drift deeper into sleep. Just as seahorses use their tails to anchor themselves and find stillness in the moving water, allow your body to feel anchored and perfectly still in the comfort of your bed. Let any lingering thoughts drift by, as gentle and harmless as tiny plankton in the current. There is no need to hold on to them. Just let them float away, Embrace the quiet darkness around you, feeling safe in your own peaceful haven, a place where you can rest and restore yourself. The story of the seahorse is one of finding strength in gentleness, of thriving through stillness, and of the profound power that comes from a quiet, devoted connection. It is a story to carry with you into the night. May your dreams be gentle, your rest be deep, and your spirit find its own quiet harbor. Good night.